Channel, and today we got KSI versus Austin Mcbroom. This is some random guy's thumbnail, and I'm kind of doing this off the cuff, off the whim. I know James isn't gonna like that, but it's really late, and I have to make this video because tomorrow's Father's Day, and I gotta do Father's Day things. So, anyways, this beautiful, sexy man right here, KSI, will potentially fight this guy right here, Austin McBroom, because he booms people's heads off. Example A. Boom. Just booming. Oh, and this is someone else's video that I'm using because I'm too lazy to find my own video. So we're gonna just let this play out here. But essentially, KSI is calling out Austin McBroom for a fight. And my thoughts are as follows. I believe that Austin McBroom is not a bad boxer, if I'm being honest. He's got some pretty decent skills, if I say so myself. I'm gonna go full screen here for a minute. So what does Austin McBroom have that makes him a worthy competitor? Well, I think he has a really good jab. He's got good footwork. I think some were saying he's a southpaw and he changed stances throughout the fight. So the man is not a Ben Askren. But I mean, that's a pretty low bar to set for yourself to begin with. But yeah, this man right here clearly knows what he's doing, and he takes it seriously. He definitely stays in shape, and he knows what he's doing. And I have to admit, he's got a really powerful jab. I mean, I want to go to a clip just showing his jab off here. Hold on, where is it? Stay with me, guys. Stay with me. That's KSI fighting. Oh yeah, so here we go. So oops, that was way. Oh, see that jab? Oh, nice, powerful jab. Let's go back. Bang, bang. That got power, speed, and accuracy. Man, so that's the thing. I think Austin could actually give KSI a run for his money. Now, am I saying that KSI is gonna lose to Austin McBroom? Well, of course not. He's KSI, so he can't lose because I'm a fanboy. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I think KSI has been doing this for more years than Austin. I feel like if this was 2018 KSI, there might have been a bit more of a risk. But to be quite honest with you, I think that, KSI has been boxing since 2017. He's been doing this for 4 years. Austin's only now started training, and Austin definitely is working with. This is a female fight card, which I would be excited to see. But KSI is clearly fighting pro boxers. True Jordy said that he's fighting elite level fighters. He's got a pro coach. He's just at a different level and has more experience. And we saw with Gibb versus Taylor. That Taylor clearly was good, but Gibb's experience and where he was at was just levels above where Taylor was at. And ironically, Taylor is on the screen right now with FouseyTube and Bryce Hall. And this video pretty much repeats itself. So yeah, I think that KSI and Austin McBroom would be a pretty nice warm-up fight, but I don't think it should be the end-all, be-all. Like, this shouldn't be the one fight that KSI takes to then fight Jake Paul, because personally, I think that if he fought Jake Paul after fighting Austin McBroom, it just wouldn't make much sense, because for KSI, I think he should fight, wait for it, Dillon Danis, aka the next Ali. Call him the next Ali. Because Dillon Danis definitely, I think, is in his skill range, and I think everyone's saying that he's a pretty easy person to beat, and he hasn't fought in like 2 years, so I think KSI could run through him pretty easily, and it would give him a lot of credibility, and everybody hates Dillon Danis, so I think a lot of the MMA community would really like JJ as a fighter, but I think fighting a more credible fight than Austin McBroom is the way to go, and I think Austin McBroom would also be a fun, fight to see as well, because essentially KSI, as much as I don't want KSI to underestimate wow, look at this image. You can't get better than that, kids. You can't get better than that. As much as I don't want KSI to underestimate Austin as a fighter, I definitely do believe that he's someone that could easily be fought in December of the end of this year. I know that Social Gloves wants another event, and I think that KSI, is touring in October, and he can still have roughly 2 months of training and have the fight at the end of December and not feel like he's gonna, lose. Because if he was fighting Jake, he shouldn't take 2 months to be in a camp. But for someone like Austin, who's never really fought a ton, I think taking 2 months is more than enough time to prepare him, and he's in very great shape right now. I mean, if we look at KSI, Deadly, just because I want to show. Where is it? KSI Deadly 2021. Maybe if I look up that. It's on here. Maybe if I go here. Oh, I found it. But wait here, yeah. So as you can see from this image, KSI obviously looks extremely thin. He's in very good shape. I'd say fighting shape, if I'm being honest. And clearly is training and doing boxing and improving as a fighter. So I do definitely believe that KSI could easily fight someone at the end of this year. And I think Austin's a good fight because I want KSI to fight someone that could essentially be an easy fight, but that keeps him active and that we get him back in the ring so he doesn't go a full 2 years to 3 years without fighting. And yeah, this is Austin Mcbroom. And the thing is, Austin, I think, I don't know, Austin Mcbroom, height, some 5'9", so JJ has a huge height and I'm assuming weight advantage. 170, so like he's a little bit, he's pretty much, Bryce was weighed in at 164 and Austin was at 172. I mean, I think JJ might have to come down to 180, which might be hard for KSI, but at the same time, Social Gloves battle of the platforms 2 is what I want to see, and I think if JJ, like literally, if JJ fought Austin the way he fought Joe Wellu, he would win. I mean, they both have really powerful jabs. I think Austin can definitely take KSI's punches, but at the end of the day, I think KSI's experience, also with his power, and I think his underestimated skill will give him a easy win, and I think he will get Austin out in 2 rounds, and it will definitely be a Nate Robinson style KO. And I'm being as fair as I can. I think Austin won't be like I don't think KSI. I think KSI will run through Austin, but at the same time, I think Austin will give a few good punches to JJ. I think he'll be able to take a few good punches from KSI. But I think KSI's power and his experience, and the fact is that like Austin would come forward to Bryce and his hands would be down, and Bryce actually countered Austin a couple of times. And I think if, like with Austin, he hasn't been boxing enough that if KSI doesn't come out with his jab or does little things that someone like Jake would figure out and know to take advantage of, whereas Austin wouldn't know how to do that. So, JJ will probably be able to get away with things that he might not with someone like Jake Paul or an MMA fighter. And Austin just doesn't have the experience necessary to know to keep your hands up when you're coming closer in range and all that stuff. And the thing is I genuinely think that Austin is not terrible, but I just think that KSI is levels above him in terms of technique. And I know a lot of people don't think that KSI is extremely talented when it comes to boxing, but I personally believe that his skills are underestimated, and I think that this will definitely prove my points, or it might completely prove me wrong, and then everyone will be seen right. But I think this fight will prove my opinions that KSI is actually very technically good, and that he definitely has what it takes to beat Austin. And it's a really no-brainer that KSI would beat Austin because, again, the technique, the power, the experience. And, Austin fought Bryce with 16-ounce gloves, and now he's going to fight him with 10-ounce gloves with KSI. So that's a 6-ounce difference, which is really huge. And again, if, Austin fought Bryce with 10-ounce gloves, it would have been over in 1 round. So I think that Austin, will take the fight super seriously, but again, I think this should just be one out of many fights that KSI takes. Now, obviously, if Jake Paul loses to Tyron Woodley in this fight, this is a beautiful image. I don't know if that KSI fight will happen, but at the same time, I think it's good that JJ keeps active. And you know what? Who wouldn't want to see Jake Paul get knocked out a second time? So I think that's pretty much all I've had to say. I think it's an intriguing fight. I actually was thinking about this. I think it's a perfect warm-up fight out of many. It shouldn't just be the one. I think both bring some good stuff to the table. I think Austin will do better than people think, but at the same time, I really see no way that Austin beats KSI. and I see no way that KSI doesn't win via a knockout, and I think that this will definitely set a tone and change the public image of who KSI is as a boxer, and kind of prove the points that I've been saying about him, is that his technique is underrated, and that he's actually a lot better than people think, and that he can compete with someone like Jake. So this video has gone way too long. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.